Years ago, columnist Irma Bombeck, if you're as old as me, you might remember her, wrote a little reflection called When God Created Mothers. If you don't mind, I'll go ahead and read that. When the good Lord was creating mothers, God was into a sixth day of overtime when the angel appeared and said, "You're doing a lot of fiddling around on this one." And the Lord said, "Have you read the specs on this order? She has to be completely washable but not plastic, run on black coffee and leftovers, have a kiss that can cure anything from a broken leg to a broken heart, and 3 pairs of eyes." The angel asked, "Is that on the standard model?" The Lord nodded. 1 pair that sees through closed doors when she asks, "What are you kids doing in there?" Another pair in the back of her head that sees what she has to know. And of course, the ones here in front who can look at a child that messed up and say, without so much as a word, "I understand, and I love you." "Lord," the angel said, touching his sleeve gently, "Go to bed, get some rest." "I can't," said the Lord. "I'm so close to creating something like myself." Finally, the angel bent over and ran her finger across the cheek. "There's a leak," she pronounced. "I told you that you were trying to put too much into this model." "It's not a leak," said the Lord. "It's a tear." "What's that for?" "Well, it's for joy, for sadness, for pain, for love, for loneliness, for pride." "You're a genius," said the angel. The Lord got quiet, looked up, and said softly, "I didn't put it there." There is a tear in the heart of every mom. I believe it's part of what helps moms have a special insight into this feast of the Ascension. There is a goodbye today that is, I would think, not at all easy for the disciples. In Jesus, they'd found someone worth their lives and meaning and joy, and then they watched his awful, agonizing death, and they were crushed. And then when he returned, now we can go on again, and he starts saying, "I'm going to leave you. Oh, don't go, Jesus, please." But he had to. But he says, "I will be with you always." And he was. And they found that. He was with them. And I think motherhood gives us an insight into just how true that is. You know, moms understand the letting goes, the tears that are the heart of love. There's a gazillion letting goes. If you're a mom, you know this. As some of you know, my favorite definition of motherhood, that incredible risk to have a part of your heart walk outside of your body for the rest of your life. Now, it's a challenge, whatever the age of your children. When they're young, there's a handful. Here's one gratuitous parenting tip from a mother of young ones. She said, "When my kids act up in public, I like to yell, 'Wait till I tell your mother,' and act like they're not mine." You're welcome. Then there is that pain of adolescence and pre-adolescence when kids have to somehow push away from mom to know who they are apart from mom. Some kids navigate that more graciously, some don't. My favorite title of a book that I never read was on adolescence. It's called "Get Out of My Life, but First Drive Me and Cheryl to the Mall." Yeah. And they just keep coming, and you know them. I'll give you just one real-time example. Our cantor Whitney, who's been here for 2 masses, was going to go home to a sick child for Mother's Day, and our cantor was sick, so she's staying here while Dad takes care of stuff until she can get back. Moms, it's just what moms do, right? So to all moms, I would say this: please take care of yourself and who you are along the way. And please be gentle with yourself. No one does this parenthood thing perfectly. If I were a mom or dad, I'd take some comfort from this statement by a pediatrician named Rebecca Diamond, who said, "If you still think there's such a thing as perfect parenting, know that I am a pediatrician and a parenting author. And for dinner tonight, my toddler is having strawberries dipped in ketchup." You just do what you can do, right? And for all of us, we have to do that painful letting goes of our moms to death, and they have to let go of us. And to anyone who experiences that pain today, please know that we love you and we're glad that you're here, and your tears are welcome here. And in all of the letting goes of our mothers and by our mothers and by each of us, we get this insight into the next part of this gospel, this reading, when it's not just Jesus saying goodbye, but it's the promise that he would be with us always. On some level, is it not true that our moms are always a part of us? Even if mom is gone from earth here, right? Her words echo in our ears. We carry the best of them in our hearts, a bit of the wound that they have. And I think that helps us get a sense of kind of how God is with us after the ascension of Jesus, around us and in us. He makes that promise, I will be with you always, always, always. And so there's more to the presence of Jesus than how it is for a mom, but it gives us a glimpse, because he truly is always with us. So to end, moms, thank you for the unseen tears, for that which you sacrifice that no one will ever know. Hang in there. You don't do it perfectly, of course, but you make a more profound difference than you ever know. And when you feel at the edge of your eyes those tears that the angel noticed on the first model, or when your tears bring you sobbing to your knees, may you remember that you understand God in a way that no one else can, really, and that God understands you. And the promise is real for you as it is for each of us when Jesus says, I am with you always, always, always. I am with you.